How's everybody doing? Thanks for spending some time with me. Today we're looking at menu number 18, beef ravioli and meat sauce. And surprisingly, this menu has been in the lineup for over a decade. The beef ravioli entree has been part of the modern US MRE system for well over a decade and traces its roots back to earlier pasta-style military dishes from the 1990s and early 2000s. It has become a permanent fixture because pasta meals consistently scored well in military taste testing. It's a familiar food, it's easy to eat in the field, high calorie energy, very filling, and minimal military taste. Soldiers often compare it to military Chef Boyardee, and it's comfort food in a pouch. So let's get into this guy and let's see what's so special about it. This is a 2022 production. We're going to use it by peeling the seal. Sometimes these can be a little difficult. This is an AmeriQual, so it is going to be double bagged, and look at that. I love when I see that little Tabasco bottle there. They come double bagged, like I said. And let's see what we got here. Beef ravioli in meat sauce. One pouch is 227 grams, 270 calories, 7 grams of fat, 30 milligrams of cholesterol, 540 milligrams of sodium, 37 grams of carbohydrate, 16 grams of protein. Not too shabby. We have Italian breadsticks. This is a 2-ounce package or 57 grams. 200 calories, 32 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein. We have our accessory packet: salt, chewing gum, matches, white tip, moist towelette, and napkins or toilet paper. We have some milk chocolate M&Ms, 1.69 ounces or 47.9 grams. This has 230 calories, 35 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. Oh, look at this. We have a recovery bar, salted caramel, marshmallow crisp. This is a 2.2 ounce container or 62 grams. This is manufactured by Sterling Foods in San Antonio, Texas. This has, 38 grams of carbs, 10 grams of protein, 250 calories. And they usually are double bagged. We have our MRE spoon. We have a beverage, carbohydrate electrolyte beverage powder, fruit punch, 0.85 ounces or 24 grams. This is 90 calories, 0 grams of protein, 23 grams of carbs. Look at that. Ain't that a weird thing? 2 spoons. I guess we're supposed to share this with our soldier in the field. That's pretty unique. I've never seen that. We have a Tabasco on the 241st day of 2022. And that Tabasco is looking pretty good. Now it's kind of hard to see that with the glare, but that Tabasco looks bright and it's nice and liquidy. And again, we have peanut butter. I don't think I've seen cheese yet in this case. Maybe in case A, but in case B, I think almost everything has been peanut butter. I guess the shipment of jalapeno cheese spread or regular cheddar cheese spread never made it to the packing line that day when they packed this guy up. 1 ounce, 160 grams of calories. Let's see, fat 13 grams, carbs 6 grams, protein 7 grams. And then we have our flameless ration heater. Okay, that looks like everything. This is garbage. Let's get this plated up and let's enjoy it. Stand by. Okay, we are back. We trade everything up. Everything's looking pretty good. We're going to start first by making our carbohydrate drink, fruit punch. And we're going to fold the pouch on this line. This will allow you to see the crease from the inside of the bag. And also this is a fill line. That's a viewer tip from Lance9848. Thank you, Lance. If you have any tips, drop them in the comment section. Sometimes these tips are so simple we overlook them and they're genius. So if you have a tip, drop it in there. I'll give you some credit for it. And there we go. If you're new to MREs, when you make these beverage pouches in the field, you could drink them right from the pouch. That's why there's an hourglass shape on there. If not, pour the liquid in, fold the top over, crease it, fold it over again, give it a good shake, and then let it sit there for a minute. All right, out of full disclosure, I cheated a little bit. I went and got some jalapeno cheese spread because I just can't think of eating these Italian breadsticks without cheese, and they just go well together. We're going to use the peanut butter for our recovery bar. So let's get everything going. And also, in full disclosure, if you spend any time around MREs, you're going to have excess flameless ration heater bags with elements. We're going to double them up. I've been having such great success with doubling these up, putting one in the front of the main, putting one in back of the main, only putting one component in the bag, because every time we try stacking components, what happens? Now, you only are supposed to put about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of water in this. That just makes a little puddle. So when you stack components, your heater element is stuck between these two items, right? Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I see this mistake being made by even seasoned reviewers, right? Let's pretend this is our main, right? We want to have both of them warm up. So what do? Now look at that. Even if we get both flat sides, you put this in your bag, right? And then you lay it down, and where does the water puddle up? On one side of the food or the other side of the food? Nothing ever makes it to the middle. And then everyone's saying, oh, my FRH failed. No, you screwed it up. So stop doing that. Put it on one side, and if you want to, put your other component outside the bag on the other side. or double them up, and then you could use it both sides, which that's what we're going to do. And I got a weird contraption I made here. I had a piece of foam which I coated in duct tape, and I actually made a little heater sleeve. So this is extremely insulated, and I'm just curious how much of that heat will stay in here to warm up our components. So this is the first time I'm using it. I know it looks atrocious, but I was curious. So let's see how this works out. We're using 2 FRHs, mind you. These are both from 2022, so they should work. Alright, so like I said, we're going to take our beef ravioli. We won't need the cardboard sleeve because we're actually heating it inside the pouch. We got 1 FRH on this side. We got another FRH. Sorry, can't see that. We got another FRH on the other side. We're going to put 3 ounces of water in this. We're going to make sure they're centered. All right. And then we're going to put 1 component on this side, on the outside of the bag, which are going to be our breadsticks. And then we're going to throw everything in this pouch. The peanut butter, the cheese, the recovery bar. Matter of fact, yeah, we don't need this big bulky pack because that's where it is. So let's get this started. And we're going to kick it off with some salt. Where's the salt at? You tell me they didn't give us? Ah, there we go. Trying to get away from me. I see people selling these MRE heater pouches, and really, you don't need to buy one. Not trying to knock the guy who's selling it, but an oven mitt works great. A towel. Alright, so we're gonna massage the pouch without spilling any water. Make sure that bottom pouch FRH gets soaked. Ooh, that thing is really getting hot. Then we turn it over, get that other FRH activated. You can see that thing's already taken off. I'm going to slide that in there. We're going to throw our bread on the top, bottom I mean. And I think for this one we're going to need a rock or something. We're going to throw our peanut butter in there. We're going to throw our cheese in there. And we're going to just set that thing on the side like that. Oh, we forgot our recovery bar. Good thing we have enough room for everything. There we go. All right. Let's see what our M&Ms look like. M&Ms look fantastic. All right. We don't need our matches. We got our moist towelette, we got our chewing gum, and we have our Tabasco. Let's get this Tabasco ready by slitting the plastic cover. I like saving the bottom of it so it doesn't damage it when we peel it. And then let's cut this open. That FRH is taking off, both of them. All right. And see, by slitting that neck with the knife, we actually preserve the packaging. Let's see how our fruit punch came out. All right. Very bright, if I do say so myself. All right. I'm going to put that to the side. Wow, that fruit punch smell just hit me. Remind me of Kool-Aid. Now I have to try it. I think the fruit punch is one of the best flavors. True to the original intent of the flavor. Let's get our napkins ready here. Okay. All right, well, we're going to let that cook for a minute. That thing is taking off. Oh, that recovery bar is getting soft, but I think that could sit in there for a minute. All right, I'm going to let this thing cook for about another 10 minutes. It's been about 5. I like to usually give them about 15 to 20 minutes, and we will return. All right, we're back. It's been well over 20 minutes, and let's see how we're doing. Pull everything out of our sleeve. Wow, that cheese spread is just water. Wow. The outside of this is just lukewarm, while everything in the middle, it's piping hot. So that was a success. And we have our peanut butter, which is also like water. Knead that up, make sure there's no clumps. When you warm up your peanut butter, it kind of like liquefies, but there's still like a glob in the center that doesn't fully liquefy. So just knead it up. We're gonna let this, I think this is hotter than the peanut butter. We're gonna let that just sit there and kind of firm up a little. We got nothing left in our homemade improvised heater bag. We'll put that on the side. Wow, and this thing is too hot to even handle. And that thing is smoking hot. We're gonna get some napkins just to get that salty, watery residue off. Okay. And we have some kind of white powder. I don't know if that's drink powder. Yeah, I think that's drink powder. All right. This is finished. Toss that in the garbage. And let's see what our raviolis look like. And they're looking mighty fine. Now I'm just curious to see what the temperature of this is. All right, let's see what, I don't know if you could see that. We got 109, almost 90 190 degrees. Not bad. I know these American style FRHs aren't optimal, but through a little coaching by doubling them up and insulating your either a bag or a towel or a shirt. Wow, this is almost too hot to even hold. You can definitely bring your meal up to temperature. All right, and that's pretty much everything. Look at that smoking. That is looking really good. Let's see what our breadsticks came out looking like. I must say, I really do enjoy the Italian breadsticks. They have a good taste. Little doughy. Look how much steam's on that tray from warming that up. I don't think I've ever seen the bread steam this much. All right, our salted caramel recovery bar. Look how soft that is. That's just drooping over while I'm holding it. That's looking pretty good, I must say. All right, our peanut butter is firming up. Let's slice that. Get rid of that. Let's pour that on our recovery bar. That is looking really good. There we go. Look at that. That is looking really good. Okay. And our last item, which is the cheese. Let's see how that's coming out. Now usually you kind of want to leave your cheese firm so it doesn't run off everything because it is very liquidy. But I think we're going to be fine on this. Seems like it firmed up nicely. And mind you that this menu didn't come with this. I added this. If you're lucky, you'll get the jalapeno cheese spread or the cheddar cheese spread. But we added it to this one because I can't bear to have this without cheese. And this stuff is running everywhere. All right. This is looking really good. And we already got some running off the edge here. All right. That's our meal. Let's dig in. Oh, a little Tabasco first. Not too much, about a third of the bottle. I don't want to bring the heat up too much on this. All right, we got a nice sauce, pretty thick. We've got nice little raviolis. This one's about to run right off, so I'm going to take a bite before. That is absolutely fantastic. That jalapeno cheese spread never disappoints. And they go so well with the breadsticks. They really do. All right, nice big bite of raviolis. Now I know why this meal is a favorite. There's not too much of it. and it really is comfort food. And they're almost too hot to eat. They're still quite warm. I'm going to let that cool down for a minute. That's a hit. I think that's my favorite out of all the drinks. The fruit punch. That really does go so well with the raviolis. The cheese spread, the Italian breadsticks, the beef raviolis. The sauce isn't too watery. It's a nice thick sauce. Has a really good tomato flavor. You can definitely taste the herbs and spices in it. There's not too much of it, which it can help go down pretty quick. Alright, and the Italian breadsticks with jalapeno cheese. I can't get over the flavor of this jalapeno cheese when you warm it up. It almost intensifies the jalapeno flavor. Try to scrape up every little bit of that cheese. I don't want to waste it. Such a classic menu. Some M&Ms. Perfect. I mean, what can I say? They're M&Ms. Such an iconic candy. Nice little comfort food chocolate, little candy shell. That is really good. Alright, starting to get stuffed here. This is a filling meal. Okay, raviolis are gone. Let's mop up some of that sauce with our Italian breadsticks and cheese. Alright, let's finish up these breadsticks. They are delicious. Alright, let's look at this marshmallow crisp bar, which we've drizzled peanut butter all over. Now, I'm definitely not going to be able to finish this because this is a very dense, very heavy, and very thick bar to chew. We've got a good amount of caramel flavoring, a lot of puffed rice. I mean, look how thick that is. That's almost like one full digit of the end of my finger thick. And by throwing the peanut butter on there, we've really made this a calorie dense snack. So let's give this a try. I've had this bar several times before, and it's pretty good. It's not a overly sweet snack. It is very dense, and it is very time consuming to get through. But I really must say, this is the first time I've actually put peanut butter on it, and the peanut butter really does complement this. Okay, our moist towelette is nice and wet, and it does its job. So, This was menu number 18, beef ravioli in meat sauce. We had a marshmallow crisp bar, which is fantastic. I think it is a newer component, and I really like where they're going with this. With the addition of the peanut butter onto it, I think that's a home run. Our M&Ms are always a great addition, and they're in perfect condition. We had the Italian breadsticks, which I supplemented jalapeno cheese onto it. Always a treat when you get Italian breadsticks. If you get cheese with it, throw the cheese on there. Total home run. The ravioli, beef raviolis in the meat sauce were fantastic. They really were. Good amount, very filling. The sauce wasn't too runny. Great tasting sauce. We ended up using a dual FRH to heat this up. Home run on using dual FRHs. If you have extra, give it a try. I think you'll be really surprised on how well running 2 FRHs in a bag really makes a difference. I have a lot of them stocked up because sometimes when I'm filming, I boil the mains, I'll throw the FRH on the side, and then you end up getting a small pile of them, and you could easily acquire enough to run dual FRHs when you need to. Well, that was menu number 18. And for our next menu, menu 19, beef patty jalapeno pepper jack. This is an outstanding menu. I can't wait to get into this one and share it with you guys. So, stay tuned for the next one, and take care. And again, thank you for all the subscribers. Have a great day.